Today, I'd like to make my presentation, Möbiusschleife Beyond the Bounds of the VR System. My presentation is composed of the following sections: Introduction, Related Works, System, Application, and Conclusion. First of all, I will declare our research concept. In a word, our concept is extending the VR world to the real for collaborative augmented virtuality. This video describes our overview and performance of our proposing methods, virtual window and teleport to the real. In short, the first method provides a window or display between the VR and the real. Players in both sides can see and interact with each other through the display. The other method, teleport to the real, conjures part of the VR world into the real. This method makes audiences feel the VR player comes closer to their field. When an audience holds his or her hand in front of the display, the VR player moves to the right field display like this. Both the VR player and the audiences share the same environment. The main purpose of our research is to propose the new methods for augmented virtuality and interactions between VR and the real. We have settled 4 research goals to achieve our purpose. 1. Making the VR and the real see through with each other. 2. Providing bidirectional interactions between VR and the real. 3. Bringing the VR player to the real world. 4. Suggesting the sample game for collaborative augmented virtuality. Next, I will dig into research applications concerned to our project. Before focusing to each project, I will classify them in 4 groups. 1. Capturing the reproducing part of the VR world in VR. 2. Mixing VR and the real by imposing CG models on actual view. 3. Extracting elements of VR contents. 4. Using display and webcam as the interface to VR. The first approach includes, for example, VR player can catch a real ball, bringing audience to the VR, or connecting the dollhouse to digital devices. Both of the second methods overlap their CG contents on the VR player's side. The third group means reproducing the part of the VR player contents or experience in application in the audience area. They showed an avatar synchronizing VR player's movement or the scenery in the VR. Apart from the previous groups, the last technique utilized a simple display and a webcam as an interface to VR, that is, a window to see the VR world. We decided to apply this method because this approach had the possibility to provide new mutual interactions. Besides, it could be implemented with ease. In fact, we have already researched, developed, and demonstrated our proposing VR methods in VRIC 19. We have presented a simple VR chat application with using our methods, and some interactions were well received. But we have also found some problems. If just our concept is not imaginable, we did not fully describe our research purpose or tasks in our demo. In addition, some interactions, for example breaking a display, attach ornaments in the VR world, and expression of VR player in the real are difficult to be understood. Especially about VR player in the real, we implemented it with a semi-transparent mirror to reflect an image of the VR avatar from flat display. It resulted in weak presence of the VR avatar in the real. In this research, we proposed 2 methods, a virtual window and teleport to the real, and modify them by a new usage of virtual window for mutual interaction. B. VR player and audience coexist in the same place with a light field display and RGB camera. C. controlling physical objects from the VR. Here is the image of the system schematic and whole components. We developed an application with Unity 3D for the VR player and another for the audience. Our two applications communicate with each other for synchronization and interaction between the VR and the audience. Our system uses two VR-ready computers. HTC Vive, a flat display, webcam, and 2D LiDAR is connected to the PC for VR application. And the light field display with looking glass, Arduino Uno, and Intel RealSense D435 is connected to the PC for the audience application. Virtual window consists of the display, webcam, and 2D LiDAR, where teleport to the rear does looking glass, Arduino, and Intel RealSense D435. Looking glass requires an additional VR-ready PC because of its load to the computer, especially to the GPU, which means managing VR components and looking glass with a single computer is quite difficult. From this slide, I will explain the feature, mechanism, and implementation of our VR methods. Virtual window plays the role of window between the VR and the real, which enables the VR player and audience to see and interact with each other. This window provides a virtual window in VR and a physical one in the real world for subjects in both areas to see the opposite sides each other. It creates a texture of the stream image from the webcam and pastes it to a plate object. Then, it also transmits an image from a virtual camera behind the plate to the display for audience. The display detects where audiences touch with using the 2D LiDAR. The LiDAR outputs scanned point as a polar coordinate system, dealing with the center of the device as its origin. So we need to convert it to the Cartesian coordinates in the screen as the following processes. 1. Setting the scanning range in consideration with the size of the display and the relative position of the 2D LiDAR from the display. 2. Calculating the homography matrix transforming the scanning range to the screen rectangle. 3. Converting the detected polar coordinates to the Cartesian coordinates. 4. With the converted point is inside the scanning range set in the V1. Multiply the calculated homography matrix in the way to left to it, so that the system acquires touched points in the display. We derive two interaction ways throwing an object and touch mutually. The former enables the audience to throw an object into the VR world through the display. When someone throws a soft object to the display, the ball is flied out from the display in the VR area. The latter is a way for the VR player and audiences to touch mutually with each other. We cannot put our hand into VR directly. Instead, we implemented an alternative solution that audiences can produce a touchable object for a VR player by holding their hands in front of the display. The other method, teleport to the real, conjures part of the VR world in the real. The method makes the VR player appear on the real world. We infer the biggest reason why we could not express it in our previous research is that an image reflected in a semi-transparent mirror has a weak presence. Now we utilize a light field display, RGB camera, and display to control physical objects for enhancing its presence in the real. The VR player cannot directly manipulate his or her avatar shown on the light field display because the VR system is not connected to the PC controlling the display. Alternatively, we realize synchronization between the posture of the VR player and the avatar by communicating the position and angle of the VR player's head and both hands via WebSocket protocol. WebSocket server is launched in the application for light field display, and it broadcasts all messages sent from the WebSocket client running in the VR application. Another WebSocket client is executed in the application for light field display to receive the VR player's posture due to gesture synchronization. Not only audiences can see the three-dimensional image of the VR player, but he or she can also watch the audience statically. The VR player can see a point cloud of the audience area captured with IntelliRealSense D435 in real time. Our system also matches its scale to actual size, calculated by dividing the application head by its physical size. And it locates it as fitting to the installing position of the camera. For giving the VR player more inference to the rear, the system also enables the VR player to control a few objects in the real world with the VR controller. The VR application can also send inputs of the VR controller via WebSocket. Then, the application for light field display receives it as control and Arduino connected an USB port. Next, I will show our demonstration game to which our VR methods are applied. It composed of 3 stages where the VR player and audiences can collaborate and enjoy with each other. The goal of this game is for the virtual character performed by the VR player to escape from a small room displayed through the virtual window. All participants play the following 3 stages: A. Wall break, B. Gate open, and C. Welcome to the real world. The first stage is a simple shooting game. The VR player can break them by picking up a gun and shooting a barrel, and the audience can help it by throwing an object to the display. Then a ball flying out of the virtual window will break target when it hits. He poses a common task display approaching walls next to his feet in the first. The next stage orders the VR player and audiences holding up their hands to the same place. First, the audiences need to put their hands in front of the display for serving touchable objects in VR. Next, the VR player touches it and then keeps their actions for 3 seconds to proceed to the next stage. On the last stage, we express a teleport by rendering the real world as a point cloud model and switching the display to render the VR avatar from the virtual window to the light field display, because of emphasizing the presence of the VR avatar in the rear. The VR player can also control a few objects installed in the demo booth. Concretely, he or she can control an LED and a servo motor with his or her input. And the VR player can also check it through the point cloud model. Finally, I will summarize our research project. We propose the next version of Möbiusschleife, a novel augmented virtuality system, which is collaborative with the real. Compared to our last research, we enjoy bidirectional interactions and VR avatar's presence in the real world by modifying our methods, virtual window, and teleport to the real. For improving the mutuality of interactions, we provide another interactions touching with each other to virtual window, besides throwing an object into VR. Furthermore, we also attempt to strengthen the presence of the VR avatar in the real world by developing the system to show the light field image of the VR avatar with looking glass and synchronize the VR player's posture to it via WebSocket. Rendering a point cloud 3D model of the audience area using the VR and the real world visually. Plus, from the VR side, player can control a part of physical objects in the real world, which enriches the experience for the VR side. After that, we developed a demonstration game containing 3 stages. Our previous research did not fully represent our concepts because there is no obvious task or goal. Instead, in this research, we clarify our research concept. A VR player and audience play the same content together by preparing a collaborative VR game. with our new VR methods. But our proposal methods still have some problems. First of all, our bidirectional interaction system is not completely symmetric. Especially interaction from the VR side in virtual window and that from the real side in teleport to the real are weak. We tried some features for bidirectional interaction in our previous research, but omitted them because those are difficult to be understood. So we need to seek interaction ways which both the VR player and the audience can interact easily and mutually. Another one is the VR system and the light field display are not completely separated because an RGBD camera is embedded not in the light field display but the VR system. We think flexibility of mutual interaction will increase much more if we can implement a wireless sending system for an RGBD camera with using the real-time communication API like WebRTC. In addition, we have not verified the impact or efficiency of our proposing interactions yet. We believe experiments to verify our methods in a practical situation will be helpful for developing a VR application being collaborative with the real, because such kind of applications are already launched and will be increasing. That's all of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.